Hello to anybody listening and watching. I'm just trying out streaming for the first time, and while I do that, just sketching something I've done before and have fun with, which is ice cream trucks. Some different variations on these little machines. Type something in the chat if you have a question. I'm not planning on narrating too much about what's going on because just having some fun here. But if you leave a little note, I will try and answer your questions or comments, maybe even, I guess, requests. If anyone out there is watching and can hear me, if you could just type something in the chat. I'm just trying out the streaming service for the first time and just drawing something for fun, but I'm not sure if my sound is going through. Just doing some random delivery type style trucks with some ice cream trucks here. I love ice cream, so it's always just a fun thing to do to warm up for fun. Searching for new forms and designs that they could take. Trying to do some variations on the openings there. Well, some of them might not actually work for giving people ice cream on the side of the street. Lots of different side views just to explore some possibilities, but also starting off in different ways, different places to try and get some new forms into the design. Some of them a little bit more futuristic than others. Random graphic details that may or may not work. Doing everything with a number 3 marker right now. Number 1 is just a little too light, I think, for showing up on camera. It's what some of these earlier ones were with, and my number 2 up here, which shows up a little bit. It's just a little too dry for using on the screen here. Adding ink with the radiograph pen. It's kind of like a felt tip pen, except it has just a metal tip instead of felt at the end there. Sometimes have to slow down a little bit so the ink flows out smoothly, but never have to worry about replacing that tip there, which is nice. Go into some of the designs that I like more. Gives me some time to hold off on the designs that I'm not as excited about. Some pausing moments to consider how I might improve those designs that I don't particularly care for. important to do those designs though, to throw them out on paper, try something new, find something you wouldn't have considered otherwise. So even if you got something that you don't like, it might help you realize something that you do like later on. Plant the seed for exploring some new forms. See how you can adjust from the marker, make some changes. And I think the big limitation on these trucks right here is wanting to have that door that just you can just step out of and walk through on the side there. So I need those lines to be straight. But again, challenging myself to figure out how I can create some new forms. Even with that, that's where the fun starts to come in. Playing around with some fun things on the tires here. Again, just searching for anything interesting and fun that I have not done before. Four more to go. How long have I been sketching for? About almost 30 minutes now, I think. So by keeping to these side views allows me to work pretty fast as far as exploring a large variety of forms and then picking the ones that I like the most to investigate further. In 3 dimensions. And there are some repeating shapes that I keep ending up doing that I'm not excited about, only because that I am falling into that pattern, but it does seem like they might be the just natural shapes that I'm going towards right now. Probably thinking that, I mean, I think I started off ice cream truck, but I started off thinking that this is some sort of electric ice cream truck. So I could have some sort of sled platform that it's sitting on. So there's more space inside for everything else going on with the truck. Yeah, so this one, I start off with those circles. Am I going to keep them in there? We're going to chicken out and go for some straighter lines. Let's keep this, yeah, let's just keep it in there. See how it works out. And I waited all this time to do that design, and kind of do like that front end just a little bit. All right, almost a little over 30 minutes. Now let's come in, pick a few out that I like, add a bit more line weight to them. Do like this last one a lot. Come in, even grab a ellipse circle guide, just to make that, ooh, back tire is a little smaller. Circle guide just to clean that up a little bit, make it a little tighter. Some graphic details. What is a window? What is a cut line? What is a door versus a door handle? So let's label these. Let's do it with a smaller pen though. Went this way mostly. Well, let's go across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 was one of my favorites. If you have one you like, just type that in the chat and I'll add just a little bit more detail to that. I'm liking 12. Maybe there's something to 11. Well, let's look at number 9 also. A bit more detail to that. Don't know how this one's going to serve ice cream. Maybe you can see the person up here and they can give you the ice cream down below. So we've got a few windows on this one. Don't want to just pick all the ones over here. Number 7 was an earlier one. Actually, even number 4 is so simple, but sometimes simple is good. So let's include that in the bunch here. We'll add as much detail as little ground line over there to number 9, brings my attention back to it. Yvonne and Piccoli's one more. 2 is kind of fun. 5 is kind of traditional with the little front end there. And 10 is very similar to 9 with that front end sticking out, overhang like that. But it looked that big opening. Let's do 5 and 10. So bring just a little bit more attention to those ones. And that is enough. Otherwise I'm going to end up adding detail to all of them. Number 5 and number 10. Okay, we kind of have a similar detailing from number 10 for silhouette. 10 and 9, but let's just again pick both of them. I really do like this big opening of the possible like serving window that 10 has. How those windows open up though, I'm not really sure. Let's grab, I've been using a 3. Yeah, we can just grab the 3 in there. And for what is a window? And this whole door will be a window here. All of this would be a window, that'll be a window, that'll be a window. This whole thing will be a window right here. Oh yeah, we picked this one here too. That's all window there. And this one here. Definitely this is a window. And maybe even I'd like this little piece down here. Turn that into a window. You know, that's like the serving area. And I guess we'll need some sort of window right here too. So even though I didn't put it in there, we'll add it. Alright, what else can we do here? A little bit more to the tires. Grabbing a 5, again for some of the ones that I like, just making their tires a little darker. Just gonna bring more contrast to them. A little ground shadow to some of the ones I like. But between those two, what's my favorite? You can add a little hint of some stuff going on inside there. Change it up. Considering how some might drive or hitting at the ice cream serving station inside maybe, or make some milkshakes just to add some attention there. Do I recommend any paper that did not bleed when using felt tip pen? Oh, well, right now I'm using a Hammermill paper, and let me get the exact numbers on that paper. I'm using this color copy paper. It's not important that you, oh sorry, not using Hammermill, I'm using Mohawk. Again, I don't know the availability of this in different places, but the brand is not so important, such as this information right here, right? So this is 32 pounds or 120 GSM, and it's smooth. The weight and the smoothness are probably the most important part to help reduce the amount of bleed that might happen with a felt tip pen. I think I have another sample here, not of paper, but of what happens when you use, right, a rough paper, right? So this is like a craft paper versus a smooth paper. And can I zoom in a little bit? Yeah, we can see it a little bit here, but again, especially right here, like if you go too slow with the craft paper, it's gonna be kind of rough, right? Because the pen's gonna there's more surface for it to grip to and for it to bleed out. So for most of my drawing, I'm using most of the time I'm using a toned paper like this, and it is smooth, and so that would be the main thing I'd recommend to reduce bleeding, is having a smooth paper when you're sketching. Outside of that, specific brands don't matter too much, but I have a Mohawk. That's the bright white I'm using here. This Nina of an alt cover stock or smooth finish paper. Again, a cover stock or a smooth finish paper. Spring Hill Digital cover stock or smooth finish paper. And again, another one, cover stock or smooth finish paper. Like some of the best paper you could probably use for sketching, but it's probably more expensive, is some kind of marker paper. And marker paper will be very, very smooth to the touch, but you're going to pay a lot more for it, right? So this is 50 sheets for something like $10 or $15, where when I bought this paper, it was like 500 sheets for like $20. So that's the trade-off you make with price. Okay, coming back to this. Any more details I want to add? No, let's just grab a little white pencil, just to put some highlights on maybe the glass a little bit. Think about surfacing a little as well. Then I'm thinking maybe this is going to be a little smooth, and even this up here will be a little rounded. As much as possible, it's better to just leave the white paper white, because this white paper is super bright compared to this pencil, so I got to do a lot of work to make it actually stand out. So this might be a fool's errand to really use this white pencil there, and I'm just going to stop with that one. So we got these designs here, and take one of them into 3D. This one's super simple, and this one's also pretty simple, so I don't think I want to take those into 3D. Let's grab something that's a bit more fun. This one here's, well, I don't like the graphics there. I do like the balance of that, so I think somewhere between 9 and 10. We'll look at those in 3D real quick and do some sketches there. So we'll just put this one to the side. Another thing about what's nice about this I'll note question of paper. Again, this Hammermill is just thick enough with that 30 pounds that it's not bleeding too much onto the page behind it. There's a few dots here, you can barely see them, so I can just go straight on this paper, no problem. We can see it's bled through the back, or not bled through the back, but it's like gone through the back a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. So again, we're looking at 9 and 10 in 3D now. Going back to our number 3 marker here, chisel tip. Oh yeah, before I forget, because I will, date all your papers. So 2021 03 06, and that was about maybe like 40 minutes on this page. So this is a second ice trap exploring 9 and 10, so this will be a lot slower for this page as we sketch in 3D. Not a perfect transfer into 3D as far as those proportions. Just some quick sketches here as far as setting up my perspective boxes for for these trucks. This one looks like it might be a little narrow, but we can work with that. If I was planning better, I could probably set up some underlays, but just some loose sketching for right now. Maybe as I keep going, I will get a little more loose with my setup there. And yeah, with that overhang, we could also see the wheel on the other side. Let's go see the wheel on the other side there. Again, we got some section jutting out here in the front. Something like this. That's saying it's like the full width of this thing. I want to taper in a little bit, so we'll cut that down just a bit. Also taper into the top too. So something like that. And come down at an angle. That. And we'll just guess at the rest of it. But we do need something over here to house the frame for what I imagine is the what is that? The sled that this ice cream truck is built on top of. We'll bring that in a little bit. Get some of that side profile. If it goes straight back, it looks like this. We'll have it come at a little bit at an angle. So it goes up into that. Have it stick out just a bit right here, like a side bumper. Rather hit your bumper on the side of the sidewalk there. Then the tires there. This thing is always going to be, you know, parking in various places. Also could provide a little step. Little place for a shelf in there. And then right that door. Maybe this door here can actually be like a two-part where it'll actually open up down and up provides some shade. Maybe then it opens up and it extends out to provide some shade there. Yeah, so there's, right, looking at it in 3D. Let's go do a variation on that. What do I like? What do I like? Let's explore that in a different view. I'm not going to add pen just quite yet, as I seek to explore this thing a bit more. Let's make it a little taller, a little narrower, right, so the space for the person inside is nice there. Right, so it could stand up inside. My vertical is vertical, checking that. Let me just move over just a bit. And last time I had the wheels kind of sticking out. Let's put the wheels inside of it this time, kind of not going to cause any trouble for pedestrians getting hit by it, so if they do get hit, they get by a bumper instead. Though you can't see the wheel on, again, the other side. For that there. We'll make that a little come forward a little bit. Have the window still, well, not going for it too much. But I do want that window to pop out of the front there. Got some lights right there. And maybe like a bar light across the top would be cooler. And then this thing gets kind of wider right here. Comes out into this side here. Flat top, angled top just a little bit for some streamlining. Again, just a small angle here. Yeah, liking the idea of some kind of like step that opens up underneath this thing. I guess there should be like a window right here too. Am I discovering anything new with this? Just a little bit. Alright, there's space for at least 1, 2, maybe 3, or I think I want 3 small sketches rather than 1 big one. Actually, let's start at the bottom here. If I put something roughly right here, get a bit more of a front view, not that dramatic. So I get a bit more of a front view here. Get another little 3/4 view here. Just planning out the layout for the rest of the page. Lastly, one more 3/4 view here, not too much, but a little bit of a tip down. Right, just sketching that box proportion that this thing is taking up. All right, let's go in here and sketch some more trucks. The form isn't changing that much from here to here. That's unfortunate. I can do like some small details. So I'm going to get a little looser with my sketches to help me discover some slightly different forms with this truck. I'm doing it on the smaller ones so that if I do make mistakes, they're easier to correct. Not focusing on the wheels too much there. Well, I say that as I go back and correct some small errors that I felt that I make. one last sketch. Let's actually do a back view here since I kind of avoided that, but maybe that'll give me some new perspective on it. All right. Not sure how I'm feeling about all of these designs, but we'll go and at least put one of them in ink. Maybe that will make me feel better, or maybe it'll make me realize that I am not crazy about them. Now I can add some small details that I had discovered in other sketches on the page. Change that from being round to matching a bit more of the other forms going on with the truck. Super thin tires, probably not the best idea. I mean, we said that bumper sticking out here, there could be like a step. Maybe even like a mud guard for that back tire there. All right. Hey, I'm pretty happy with that now. Well, let's add a few more details in here. Just filling in some stuff. That's glass. I think we need a window right here too. Windows are expensive, but I do enjoy them. All right, so 1 of 5. Yeah, 1 of 5 that ended up getting some detail on there. I'm going to go end up finishing it a bit later on. But I think this is it for now. So thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see how this works out for me. I'll find a time to stream more consistently at a specific time of the week.